Hello and a very warm welcome to the MENA Golf Tour 2015. This week we make our way to the capital of Oman for the Muscat Hills Golf Citizen Championship. Located on the edge of the Indian Ocean, the Sultanate of Oman has a diverse landscape. And its capital, Muscat, is not only the largest city in the country, but also home to more than 1.2 million people of many different nationalities. Furthermore, Muscat's architecture is awe-inspiring. Just 6 years young, Muscat Hills Golf and Country Club is the latest venue to host a MENA Golf Tour tournament. It's the first green course in the country and is a sight to behold. The management was excited to welcome the premier tour of the Middle East.
It's a tour which is growing in stature, especially in the MENA. You're starting to see a lot of talent coming from Europe, and there are some Americans that are playing on the tour, a few South Africans. And basically it's going to be up there. I see it developing and running concurrent with some of the actual other minor tours, but I do see it stepping up to the next level within the next couple of years.
The par 72 course stretches to over 6,900 yards. Designed by Paul Thomas of David Thomas and Associates, the course offers a spectacular backdrop of the Al Hajar Mountains. It's landscaped in and around the natural wadi terrain, resulting in generous fairways and challenging shots over wadi escarpments.
They literally had to move hills to actually build fairways over here. It wasn't easy. As you look around you, you can see it's a very arid type terrain, and to put green grass on this area took a lot of time, and obviously specialities with regards to specializing in greenkeeping and the certain ingredients that actually takes to actually run a golf course of this nature in such conditions.
Talking of growth, golf in Oman is moving through a similar phase as well. The presence of 4 green courses has been vital in popularising the sport. The organisation of the MENA Golf Tour tournaments has further helped the cause, and the only Omani in the field this week is happy with the progress.
For me, it's a great opportunity to be playing with the pros in such a big event. I just hope that we had more than just myself from the Omanis playing in this tournament, but I'm pretty sure in the future years we will have more players from Oman playing in this tournament.
Azan Al-Rumi is a multifaceted individual. Having represented Oman in tennis at the age of 10, he picked up golf as a teenager. Quickly, he fell in love with the sport. Al-Rumi not only broke into the Oman national team, but also became the leading player in the country.
People who know that I'm the top-ranked golfer in Oman expect me to win every tournament I play in, and unfortunately it's not as easy as it is to win every tournament you play in. But the local tournaments, I have a lot of pressure on myself to win every tournament locally. And I have people following me whenever I play tournaments outside who like to find out how do I do in tournaments internationally, which is very good. I'm very proud of it, and I wish I can continue to play for my country for as long as I can.
An avid follower of Tiger Woods, Al-Rumi is an inspiration to youngsters in Oman. He believes it's just a matter of time before Omani golfers start making a mark in the region. The Czech Republic's Cyril Suk shot a 5 under 67 to top the leaderboard. Sweden's Christopher Blomstrand matched that score to share the lead. And 5 birdies and a bogeyless day rocketed England's Stuart Archibald to the top as well, along with the amateur Ben Alexander from Scotland. Morocco's Younes El Hassani's consistent performances in both of the first 2 rounds helped him to jump into contention. Germany's Julian Kunzenbacher carded an eagle along with 6 birdies to move up to 2nd place. Meanwhile, Australia's Ryan Smith looked in fine touch with 6 birdies in the second day's play. That's how the leaderboard shaped up then. Sweden's Christopher Blomstrand, who was playing his first MENA Golf Tour event, led the way with a 2-shot cushion. Once again on the MENA Golf Tour this year, we looked set for another first-time winner, and we'll find that out and more after this very short breather. Welcome back to the MENA Golf Tour Highlights Show. You're watching the best action from the Muscat Hills Golf Citizen Championship. Oscar Hertzberg at the second with this bogey putt, the 462-yard par 5. It's a 2-tiered green, and he ended up with a double bogey to put himself virtually out of contention. Per Barth of Sweden put a bad start behind him. He dropped a shot at the first hole, but then went birdie, including this at the third. Ryan Smith then, on the second, a birdie putt after using a sand wedge on the approach. He got his birdie and moved to -7. Christopher Blomstrand dropped a shot at the first for the second successive day. That par putt didn't drop, and so it was a poor start for him, moving down to 8 under. Julian Kunzenbacher at the second had a birdie, and he got it. He moved to 8 under par, very much in contention. On the fourth, Ryan Smith, the Australian, had a little lob wedge. Very good chip indeed. That set up a birdie opportunity for him, and he would move to 8 under par. Yunus El Hassani with an eagle putt at the fourth, and he got it. He moved to 8 under, so it was getting very crowded indeed at the top of the leaderboard. Here was Yunus El Hassani again with a par putt at the sixth, the 323-yard par 4, but it didn't drop. A deceptively narrow green, well protected too, and he slipped back to 7 under. Here was Christopher Blomstrand. His third shot on the par 5 fourth, and that set up a birdie opportunity to take him to 9 under. Meanwhile, Ryan Smith on the 7th, the 168-yard par 3, and an excellent tee shot, setting up a birdie opportunity for him to move to 9 under. So birdies at both 4 and 5 for Blomstrand after an opening bogey catapulted him into the lead. And remember, he's playing his first MENA Golf Tour event. He's 1 shot ahead of Ryan Smith and 2 clear of Julian Kunzenbacher. Here is Blomstrand on the tee at the 7th. And he'll be disappointed with that tee shot just off the green. You can see how strong the wind is though. Here's Yunus El Hassani now. This for birdie at the 8th. And he'll regard that as a missed opportunity. It's one of the widest fairways on the course. A big birdie chance, but it's gone begging. He stays at 7 under. So Blomstrand just off the green. And that's a very good effort indeed from there. And that should be enough to get him par. In fact, it looks as though Blomstrand is going to tap in. Indeed he does. And he retains the advantage at the top of the leaderboard. Ryan Smith now for par at the 8th. He birdied this hole on day 2, but he's got to be content with regulation figures on the 3rd and final day, and frustration for him too. Now we'll look at Tyler Hogarty. He's got a par putt at the 9th, which he sinks convincingly. He's out in 36, but he's just a little bit too far back to really be in contention, you would say. Here's the German, Julian Kunzenbacher. A par putt for him at the 8th. He birdied this hole on day 1 of the tournament, but now he's got a bogey. So that drops him back, if he holds this, as one would expect him to 7 under. 3 behind Blomstrand. Here's the Spaniard, Victor Bertrand. And he's missed his par putt at the 10th. Dropped shot for him, his 2nd bogey of the day to add to 2 birdies. The action's fast and furious in Muscat. Here's Christopher Blomstrand with his 2nd shot at the par 4 9th. And that's a terrific effort. The 2nd shot on this hole is a blind shot, thanks to a raised green. And he's given himself a birdie opportunity. Here's Bertrand for bogey, which he holds out in 35 and back at his overnight position, 4 under par. Kunzenbacher, very tricky putt this one, really needs to read the green. And he's got it. What a fantastic putt, a birdie for him. It takes him to 8 under, he goes out in 35, it's his 3rd birdie of the day, and now he's just 2 behind Blomstrand. Here is Blomstrand with a birdie opportunity of his own. And he gets it too. His 3rd birdie of the round. After a dropped shot at the 1st, he's flying again, out in 34. So here's the leaderboard at this stage. It looks as though it's a 3-horse race between Blomstrand, Smith and Kunzenbacher. Is that the way it's going to transpire? Stay with us. Welcome back to the MENA Golf Tour Highlight Show. We're in Muscat for the Muscat Hills Golf Citizen Championship. Julian Kunzenbacher continued to put pressure on Christopher Blomstrand at the top of the leaderboard. This was Kunzenbacher's 2nd shot at the 10th, the par 4, 354 yards, and that set him up very nicely for birdie to take him to 9 under par. Ryan Smith, meanwhile, missed that par putt. He was disappointed he did so. That dropped him down to 8 under, and was he slipping out of the picture. Here was Kunzenbacher with an eagle putt at the 13th. He didn't get that, but he got a birdie. That moved him to 10 under. Blomstrand, meanwhile, on the 13th, got that for birdie, and that took him to 12 under. Smith at the 15th, a par 4 dogleg right, but that was another chance gone begging. That was a birdie opportunity, but he didn't sink it. So it was Blomstrand and Kunzenbacher looking as though they were the men to catch at the top of the leaderboard. The clubhouse lead was held by Xavier Puig of Spain, a 66 for him, the joint lowest round of the week, along with Matthew Scarfoni of Australia, and he finished on 208. So 4 holes apiece to play for the 2 leaders, and here's Blomstrand on the 15th. This is his 4th shot at the par 4. It's a pretty good effort from where he was, but he'll regard this as a major slip-up to be struggling on this hole. He birdied it on day 1. He's going to drop at least 1 shot now. Here's Ryan Smith with a birdie putt at the par 5 16th. frustrating day for the Australian. Blomstrand's bogey putt. He really needs this to drop. And it does so. But he leads now by just one shot from Julian Kunzenbacher. Tension building. Here's Smith for par at the 16th. Well, it's been a tale of lost opportunities really for Ryan Smith. He marches off to the penultimate hole. But it's a case of what might have been, I think. Kunzenbacher then for par at 15. Oh, he's missed it. Well, Smith parred this hole. Blomstrand has dropped a shot here, and now Kunzenbacher as well. Here's Yunus El Hassani. His second shot at the sharp dogleg right, 17th. Short iron to the green for him. And he's got an opportunity for birdie. Blomstrand's third at the 16th. This is the par 5. And he's got an opportunity to pick up a shot there. Yunus El Hassani's birdie putt at 17. He just never got that right, did he? Rehearses the shot. But he should still get a par, you would reckon. Blomstrand now for birdie at 16. Nicely holed. And it was all set up by two solidly struck long shots and an excellent approach. Textbook play on this hole by Blomstrand. He now leads by 3. Smith for birdie then at the last. Needs this for a closing 69. And he's run that quite some distance by. That's not dead by any stretch of the imagination. Kunzenbacher now in trouble. His second shot at the 17th. He really needs to finish birdie, you would say, and hope Blomstrand cracks under the pressure. Oh, and that's very nearly dropped in. Well, that was a terrific recovery shot from Kunzenbacher. It's given him a birdie opportunity. No wonder he's smiling. Here's Yunus El Hassani. A birdie putt for him at the last. It was never convincing, was it? And he's frustrated. It'll be a tap in for him. He'll end with a 71 for 209. Home in 36. 9 pars coming home, believe it or not. 2 dropped shots at 1 and 6, but a disappointing homeward 9, costing him an opportunity. Kunzenbacher then. Nicely done. A birdie for him. And he's back to just 2 behind Blomstrand. Is it too little too late though? Ryan Smith for par, and he misses it. Frustration for him at the end of a frustrating round. That'll be a 71, a total of 209, and a case of what might have been. Still though, a very solid week of golf. Remember, he finished 35th in his previous event, and that was in Saudi Arabia. Here's Blomstrand to keep his 2-shot advantage going into the final hole. He holds that putt, so he's 12 under par. He is the man at the top of proceedings. You would think, looking at that leaderboard, all he needs to do is keep his head on the 18th and he will be the champion. Easier said than done perhaps, but it's Blomstrand in the driver's seat. It's a stunning closing hole this, a water hazard on the right. Blomstrand with his second, he just needs to get it on the green, you feel, and he'd have 2 putts to win then. And he's done that, he's got it on the green. Kunzenbacher, and you would say really he needs to hold this. Well, he's got it inside Blomstrand's ball. So Blomstrand putting for birdie, but also putting to win the tournament. Oh, that's gone quite some distance by. He really gave it every opportunity there. Well, he wasn't going to die wondering, was he? Still some tension out on the course. Kunzenbacher, this really would turn the screw if he could nail this birdie putt. And he gave it every opportunity, but didn't get the line right. So it's advantage Blomstrand now, you would say. And with that missed birdie opportunity by Kunzenbacher, Blomstrand has 2 putts for the title. Here's the first of them for par at the last. Well, he misses that, but he won't mind too much dropping a shot, because he'll still taste victory. Christopher Blomstrand, in his first event on the MENA Golf Tour, wins the Muscat Hills Golf Citizen Championship. Little bit of a case of after the Lord Mayor's show here for Kunzenbacher. He holds his par putt, but the glory belongs to Christopher Blomstrand. Lovely reaction between the two players at the end of a fiercely contested but very friendly last 18 holes between the pair. And they are the two who finished 1 and 2 at Muscat Hills. Christopher Blomstrand just edging out Julian Kunzenbacher. And both of them playing fine last rounds, but it was Blomstrand who just about held his nerve. And don't forget that fantastic final round by Javier Puig.
I had my my game plan, and I made the game plan all those days. So it was nothing special today. I just played as the other day. So it was just another day.
In 2014, the MENA Golf Tour introduced the Sheikh Maktoum Golf Foundation Award to recognise the achievements of players from the MENA region. In the amateur division, in a tie for first place, each receiving a voucher for $400 from the Pro Shop. From Morocco, Ayoub Lagrati and Amin El Malki. And in the professionals division, in first place, receiving a cheque for $1,500 from Morocco, Younes El Hassani. And now to the championship prizes. The leading amateur this week resulted in a 3-way tie with Amin El Malki, Ayoub Lagrati and Rayhan Thomas. And the 2015 Muscat Hills Golf Citizen Champion with scores of 67, 68, 70 for a total of 205, 11 under par, receiving the winner's cheque and the championship trophy from Sweden, Christopher Blomstrand.
That's all we have then from Muscat, where Sweden's Christopher Blomstrand was crowned champion. Until next time, goodbye.